All right. Welcome back to this weekly edition of the Other League Pod. Snai, good to have you back. Good week for you. And it's getting really, really interesting in this league. And it's every week is just adding on. What's your takeaway from this week? Any little tidbits before we start some previews and some recaps?
Well, I had I mean, in fantasy, I lost this week.
Oh, did you lose this week? Oh shit, you played
Yeah.
rigged. Yeah,
I
sorry.
lost to Steve. So rough week again for me. I'm
Okay.
officially down in the basement. Season's looking bleak. But yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where like some teams they're kind of facing the fate of it's not the year and runs can't really happen. But I mean, I think like we say it every week as we get closer to the playoffs, like it starts to get more real and then teams start to like separate themselves. But yeah, man, I mean, you can go through some of these, but like some of the performances on a
Dismal.
few of the teams were like you aside, because that for you, that's sort of like a blip on the radar, but
It
like
was. It was.
teams
But
like teams like me, like consistently putting up between 90 and 100. I mean, Logue, Nils again, the low score. We'll recap some of these, but I
yeah,
mean,
we're
rough week for a
we're
couple teams. It's
yeah.
it's almost like a show me week. It's like, what do you got? Because
Honestly, it was pretty crazy. I think you're right. I mean, it's we'll just pull this up while we're talking, but yeah, I mean, honestly, seeing some of these point totals, like kind of a pathetic week. I mean, we had two outliers. We'll say Rick and the Goose who played me, who had a 55 point week. We'll get to it, but
yeah,
I mean, look at the point totals this week. Pretty pathetic, just from everybody. Like,
so
I don't
bad.
think there was that many good performances league wide, to be honest with you.
I put up 93 and my quarterback had 41.
Jesus.
Like,
We'll get to
yeah.
that too. Yeah,
So
I guess preemptively, I didn't really I should have looked at these before. I'm like to your point of now that we're moving on to a different format, I'm already looking to week 11. Like I thought you won week
yeah.
10, which is pathetic to introduce the
Yeah.
pot like that, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. No, it's easy to do. Just like forgetting. I'm just like, oh yeah, Ben won and he's in fourth and he's 6-4.
But I also
And
knew like you had that 41 point week from Burrow. So I just like in my mind already like I'm like, all right, he probably
should
won.
have been a
I didn't even
win.
look back at yeah, I didn't even look back at it.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Totally.
get into these. I mean, I'll start with mine. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, can we just sum it up in two words, Jamar Chase? I mean, like,
Yeah.
let's just be realistic here. Like after Thursday
Yeah.
night, my week was over. I mean, it kind of was nice on a fantasy point perspective because there was after Thursday night, there was 0% of me that thought I was going to win this week, and obviously I got blown out. So,
Yeah.
not a bad
Yeah.
week to have a dud, I guess, if you want to say so. But
Yeah. That's true.
um,
True.
yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, the goose, man,
It looks good.
could be the goose's year, and
Could
Aaron's probably
be.
shaking hearing that
Looks good.
tomorrow. But yeah, his team looks really good, and God damn, dude, I love Jamar Chase. What the hell were we thinking when we made that comment earlier in the season? I'll say that, but
We don't lump yourself in with me.
I kind of agreed with you though. I will say I'll put a little half hand accountability up.
Yeah, I mean, has there ever been a wronger take on this podcast
It's
in
a
the
pretty
history
bad take.
that I just said, what has Jamar Chase done to be
You
thought
know
of
what?
as a top
In
five
your
receiver?
in
And
your
he goes out right after that and just shows exactly that. I think he
in
leads the league
your
in receiving yards now, and
he's number one. Yeah, he's number one. I mean, in your
and
defense, I'll say, I think Burrow's injury did kind of overshadow a little bit of what Jamar Chase did because
yeah,
he wasn't in our face last year as much as he was this year. I mean, he had great numbers last year. We looked it up and kind of corrected our take a
yeah,
little bit the week after, but the guy's a stud, man. I mean, 267, what was it, 67 and 70 yard bombs in that game.
64. My God,
Dude, that first one was insane. Like different,
his
different. He was running differently than everyone else in the field. Like that's unbelievable.
I will officially rescind that. He's firmly in the top three. That ability to catch the ball in traffic in stride and just turn up field and find another gear that's legitimately what makes him so freaking special. Like, and that we saw that in his rookie year
Sure.
against Kansas City in that game.
Yep.
Like,
I
and
was
then
just
you're
gonna
like,
say
oh
that.
shit, like, this guy's legit. And then you just see like how he just puts the team on his back, and yeah, freaking stud. So Aaron's team looks good, dude. Like
Yeah,
he's got
I don't really think
James Conner and Brock Purdy was just like, my God, that was such a clutch trade, and it was sort of just like a throwaway trade made on like a Saturday or Sunday morning, I think, and like it was. I mean, it's just now his QB1 solidified every week. He's got a top 10 quarterback.
I will
So
say since that trade and since he dropped Mahomes has been better. But dude, Purdy in that offense, I mean, they have so many weapons, and now they get CMC back. Like, yeah,
yeah,
he's a stud, and as much shit as Steve throws on Jordan Love, because he does, he rips Jordan Love apart in our group text, which I get it. He does make some stupid plays, but I can't fire anything back. Brock Purdy's so steady, man. He's about to get
yeah,
paid. So is Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase probably will be the number one
yeah,
receiver. I think he'll get a higher contract than Jefferson.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Purdy was a really solidified, I think, his quarterback when it was a little rocky. And the rest of his team's good. I mean, he didn't really have a blowout performance by any means, but I mean, hey, you get 55 on Thursday night. Um,
yeah,
was that the highest point total from a not overall? I think even with quarterbacks, I think that's the highest point total of the year. I think
yeah,
Juwan Jennings
probably,
had that three tutty game, but I don't think that was
probably.
I don't think he got to 55. But yeah, I mean, not much. I don't even want to drum on this too much. I mean, we're trying to get to week 11. I mean, my performance sucked, and he had a hell of a week. So 142 takes it
Yeah,
by a large margin this year, or this week, I should say.
yeah,
I'm gonna skip the bastards for now. I mean, we
yeah. No need to talk about that.
little well, also little
Little
teaser.
magic from Anthony. Got CMC back. Puka's
Let's
back.
go. Let's go to this because honestly, if we do get the commish, which I hope we do at some point tonight, um, well, I play him this week, so I'd rather see him in the preview matchup. So I mean, yeah, the Bastards shoot 30 points less than their total. Pretty
Brutal
dismal
week.
performance from the Bastards. And yeah, I mean, Ant's got to look. We said, I mean, his trajectory looks up. CMC, not a huge week, but the six catches for 68 yards, you could kind of see where he's just. I mean, Jordan Mason had one carry. I
Yeah,
mean,
he got a full workload.
he got every snap pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, he's back. He is
Yep.
back. I mean, he's got
Yep.
the. We'll get to the Q tag a little bit. I think they're just kind of nursing him a little bit, but
Yeah, he should be fine.
uh, yeah, like he'll be fine. And then like I said, Chuba Hubbard, he's got him on bye
Freaking
this week.
Chuba Hubbard, man.
What's stud?
Absolute stud. Good
He's
for
great.
him. Got a payday.
He's great. Like he's
It's a really
he's
good
been
runner.
very very good this year for them. So like I think that was for him. I mean, kind of steadied him a little bit. He's only got 3 wins, but hey, I mean that's been his best player up till now, and now he's got everyone healthy. So
Yeah. One thing and one final thing on Anthony's team with
yeah,
Chuba. I think there was always a thought that Chuba, his like borderline RB1 status, was like sort of capped and had like an end date. I don't know if that's true now.
well,
Because
they shouldn't play him.
Jonathan Brooks, they activated him. I know they have their bye week this week, I think. But he's secondary now. Like he's whatever he gets this year is just an added bonus because like who even knows how much they're gonna give him? Like Chuba just got paid. Like he's their RB1.
Definitely.
And like their offensive line is starting to like gel a little bit. They're finding an identity with their running game. So I mean Chuba, as long as he's on the field, he's like a locked in, RB high end RB2 every week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, nothing to really note here. I mean, good for Anth. He's probably finally like, thank God my team's healthy.
Yeah.
And let's just try to get out of the basement. I mean, I know his mentality. We've talked a lot about it over the course of the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Uh, I've had private conversations. Obviously, I see him every Thursday usually. And yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, he gets Puka back, gets 18 out of him without a tutty. Great. And he gets his first round and second round picks back. I mean, that's huge. So more to come for Finkel. But
He
hey,
definitely doesn't have the worst team. That's for sure.
not
And
I
I
don't think
and I and I called it. I called it. I said
he
he's
did.
not going to finish in last because I
Yeah,
think his
absolutely.
team's too good. He he has he has Christian McCaffrey back. Like
Number one player.
yeah, like that team it like can't they'll win another at least another couple games just
They
because you
they
have
and
CMC.
they really need to. I mean, that division's up for grabs.
Yeah, true. Good point.
The Rams didn't do anything to we'll get to that, I guess, when we go through
Yeah.
some players. They didn't do anything really to, they could have really stronghold that division a little bit with a win against Miami. But yeah, pretty dismal
Yeah.
performance by them on Monday night. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's get to this one. I mean, we chalked it up. I mean,
Yeah.
I said that we both said that Nils was going to lose. Just kind of on matchups and kind of unfortunately, where his team's kind of trending, and he got absolutely blown out. Another manager that comes up 30 points shy of his projections, and
Hmm.
Andy with 124. That was a bold projected total, I thought, but I mean, hey,
Yeah. Crazy.
Andy, big win, man. He gets a 6-4. I mean, you thought Andy was not cooked. I mean, he had a really good roster, but he's starting to get a little healthier. His team's starting to get a little
Yep.
bit more aligned, and
Yep.
I mean, hey, until Pacheco comes back, Kareem Hunt's been just eating all the work. I'm really, as a Pacheco owner, really curious to see what's gonna happen when he comes back. If I mean, they're gonna slow play it, I'm sure, but Kareem Hunt's not gonna go away. So, um,
Um,
what do you
yeah,
think? What's your
yeah,
take?
I don't think he'll just go away. I think Pacheco's like for sure gonna get
That's what I think.
close to like a full workload as long as he's healthy. But you know, they can rotate. Maybe they rotate a couple more drives. Maybe Hunt gets more um red zone stuff. But I think Pacheco's like he should be ready to roll moving forward when he's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, big highlight here. Just, I mean, Phillies D. Dallas is just a absolute train wreck this year. I mean,
Yeah, we can segue that perfectly into Nils's team with what do you
yeah,
do with CeeDee Lamb? I
you
mean,
got to ride them. You got to ride them. I mean, I have shares in
I
a non
mean,
PPR league, which is even worse.
yikes.
Yeah. So, but like, what are you supposed to do, man? Like,
Gotta play.
you drafted
Yeah.
him or kept him in the first round, really. Let's
Kept
really,
him in the fur. Yeah, it sucks, man. I mean, it's one of those things where like you're just kind of boxed in. Like you're not gonna sit him because especially in a PPR, like he in theory he should be peppered with targets, but
you can't even, like,
like
his trade value is worthless. Like, you can't
yeah, I
even
don't know
trade
who
him.
would want him. He's a wide receiver three now.
That's
Like
what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, like you
what are
know
you going to
maybe he
get for him then?
scores,
An
but
RB, an RB2, an RB3,
sucks.
if you're lucky. Like, if you trade for him, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like speaking from my team, like I would rather have Jackson Smith and Jigba over Lamb. Because
Not
if
even a question.
that's me. Like I'm just like that's like the line. Like he's like a wide receiver three. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean Nils will get to him. I mean, his team is certainly we kind of called it. And I mean, not that he was necessarily a fraud. I mean, by any means, he had 7 wins. I mean, 7 wins in a row. Like, you get a little
Yeah.
fortunate, but you have to have a good roster to score 100 points a week, which he pretty much
Yeah.
was averaging. So, I
Yeah.
mean, he's got a solid team. But he's got some hiccups now. Like Jordan Mason's not really anything unless CMC gets hurt. Um, now he lost his first round pick to like, dude, he got 6 catches for 21 yards. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like he might get
Yeah.
peppered for targets, but like, is he going to
Yeah.
score? I don't know. So
Yeah, I think this week also kind of highlighted how much his team like need like well and I feel like that's probably it's this is probably the same for every team but
sure.
Nils especially like he desperately needs DK Metcalf back you know sack Kyler against the Jets like you know ETN has been has he's been a total letdown that team is just a mess he'll get Brian Robinson back today so I think moving forward his team actually week to week should look all right but I think you know he's the tight end what two and hasn't scored a touchdown receiving this year. So I think he'll be all right. I don't know like I think he's gonna be in the playoffs. I think he'll settle into like one of those like a 5 or 6 seed.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, he's got too many wins to like say like,
Yeah.
I mean, we have 4 weeks left. I
He
mean,
basically needs yeah, he just if you get to 8 if you get to 8
even
then
if he
you'll be
loses
fine.
out, he'll probably still make the playoffs,
Yeah, probably.
arguably. Yeah. So, I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we can just touch on these.
Yeah, we'll roll through these. I mean, Arby's. I think we both had Arby's. We had a pretty good week on the projections. To be honest with you, we only split on one.
Nice.
Was the Fink? You picked Dre, or you picked the Bastards. I picked Fink. I mean, that's pretty much the only difference, really.
Damn it. Why would I pick
Uh,
Logan?
yeah, I
Remind
mean,
me of that next time.
hey, we had a split somewhere. But
Yeah,
any
true.
case,
Yep.
Hey, 121, good outing. Arby's is looking good. That was we kind of said this matchup was going to be a big matchup in the sense that like, Ben goes to 6-4 and Tiburon slides back to 4-6 and he's
Yeah.
just in front of the guys that are coming after that last playoff.
It was a moving week for sure because they were 6-5 and 4-5 both could have been, or they were 5-4 and 4-5 both could have been 5-5 if they were split or if it was switched. So yeah, big week. It was a moving week for the league.
Oh, big. Yeah, it was. I think most of
Just
these.
because then you get two games up. Like the
Yeah.
difference between fourth place and eighth place now, like Ben has a little bit of a cushion, at
Yeah.
least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this was a big week from Arby's and honestly, I mean, great performance. Laporta more to come. We'll get to that in week 11. But
Yeah.
he gets in the end zone and everyone else in his team looks great. Chase Brown, I just can't believe Chase Brown
He
keeps
looks
doing
like a stud. It's pretty also hilarious that he now picked up Denver's RB1 probably on
it.
waivers
Dude, yeah,
or on
so
free agency when
yeah,
we were
so
live last week.
yeah, so to brief
It's really
this,
funny.
I saw Ben for like 2 hours today, like before we had dinner with them to debrief. I was with him today, and
Yeah.
kind of letting him know. Obviously, we're gonna do the podcast tonight. And he's like, dude, how about that S to me pickup? He didn't even listen to the pod last week. He just didn't have time. I'm
That's
like, I was
hilarious.
like, I was like, go back to. I was like, please go back and like listen to at least your segment of like your matchup last week. And he's like, why? I'm like, you picked that guy up like in the middle of me and
Yeah,
Snyder
we were
talking
live.
about your matchup. Yeah, I was like,
I showed the notification on camera.
yeah, I was like, that was one of the more unbelievable things that we've like just the timing of it.
Dude, yeah, dude, we were talking about him starting Isaac Garendo, and then I see the notification come through, and Isaac Garendo is dropped, and he's put Estime in the starting lineup.
Dude, and you're
Crazy.
spot on though. The guy gets 14 rushes for 53 yards, which isn't like a crazy number, but I mean,
Yeah.
14 rushes, like he's now trumped at least last week, Devontae Williams for the number one rushing spot.
Yep.
Devontae Williams is basically now their pass catching back, which is I don't know. Earlier in the year, he
Strange.
looked great. So like I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I think
They, yeah. They don't. He's a free agent after this year,
I was just gonna say
or they can cut him. Like they don't. He's not going to be there next
Sean
year.
Payton doesn't want him. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's a coach's decision right there, and maybe he's
Yeah.
not running as hard as the rookie. So I mean, yeah, um, good pickup, and but all in all, Arby's
Yeah.
hits
Good
another
team. Good
streaming
team.
Arby. So
And it's crazy too, because like he's got, and he doesn't even need to play Audric Estime because he has Kenneth Walker coming back. And then who knows what's gonna happen with T. Higgins. Like it wouldn't like I know he's trying to play for a contract. Um,
I read he might not play.
he might not play the rest of the year. Or because like or at least until after the bye.
Yeah,
Because there's I mean, what's the if Cincinnati's like not gonna make the playoffs, like what's the point of him? I mean, I guess to put some film down, but
yeah.
you know, he's playing. He's gonna get a huge contract.
You got to assume he's out. He's out of Cincinnati this year.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid a ton of
Yeah,
money.
he's going to be a number one somewhere else. I
Yep.
think everyone knows that. We'll go to yours, which for
Yeah,
whatever
we'll hit
reason,
quick.
thought that you thought that you won. God damn you, Steve, you son of a bitch. He puts up 116.
Team's just steady, man.
He is. He's got a good team. I mean, like I said, I mean, dude, that Pickens cash up there for catch of the year too. I mean, not as
Yeah.
nice as Garrett
Oh
Wilson,
God.
but that was Philly. That was
We're
Philly.
we're getting really spoiled with like a lot of really good receiver play from like players like kind of like making a leap into like an upper tier. Like, Pickens now is like even I think in real football, like he's like a legit like top 15, top 17 receiver in the NFL. And I mean, he's just like perfect with Russ. So
Russ
it
is chucking, man. Like Russ is
yeah,
good.
they're playing well.
They're a tough team. Yeah, I mean, they didn't defensively. I mean, giving up 27 doesn't look that great, but they're they're just they're a scrappy team, man. And Tomlin's a hell of a coach. So I mean, yeah, and
Yeah.
then I gotta just give credit. I mean, Shakir by no means has been a slouch in the trade, but dude, he's really hit on Cortland Sutton. He's just Bo Nix has kind of hit his stride, and
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really shrewd move.
yeah, I mean, he's been great. I
That
mean,
was a
the
good
fact that
trade.
he hasn't really needed Marvin Harrison, which is kind of like really silly to be honest with you. Just in
Yeah.
terms of just like Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, and like he gets a win, he still puts up more than 115 with Josh Allen scoring less than 20. So like,
Yep.
that's gotta and like his two backs, combined for less than 25. Like his team's good, dude.
He's a
And
tough
it
out.
sucks because like, he, him and Aaron right now are in,
Most.
the top tier.
Yep.
Um, going to my side, like it sucks when you put up less than 100 when your quarterback scores 41. And Neighbors has been brutal. I shouldn't say brutal. He's been all right, but he hasn't been what he was when he was getting just like funneled. I thought Debo would produce a little bit more than he had. Tyrone Tracy's awesome. Um, my
Who'd you have on your flex besides Raymond?
well, I had Nico Collins in.
Ah, okay.
And
That makes
then
sense.
Nico Collins was the late
Yep.
change, and I will kick myself here, and this isn't like hindsight bias. I legitimately thought about playing John Mechie, because I had Robert Woods, and then I was like, wait, I was like, I wonder if John Mechie is just going to play Nico's role, and he did,
Yeah.
and
No.
so, but I mean, it's shit like that. It's like the Jets D too, I mean, they're playing for the offseason, man. They don't even want to be there anymore.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
can't
what a
they can't
regression from
tackle. They
last
get
year.
blown off the ball. Like they're playing guys who like wouldn't even be on like Michael Klein. If you're watching a Jets highlight and you're like if you go back and watch James Conner's runs, watch 72 on the Jets defensive line. He's one of the worst players in the NFL. Like
I
he's
yeah.
the worst. Dude, he's the guy who didn't set the edge when Josh Allen scrambled. He's also the guy who didn't set the edge when Kyler scored his touchdown. He's that guy. So yeah, the Jets have phoned it in. You know, that's kind of where my team's at. I mean, I'm a basement team. I thought maybe I could make a run, and then having Burrow put up 41, I was like, all right, perfect. Like, let's go. And it's probably too little, too late, but
Yep.
we move.
Yeah, I mean, is what it is. I mean, you played the top, arguably the top team in the league. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, him and Aaron just are rolling right now. The Blizzard, we tried to get him for a little sneak peek this week, but unfortunately,
His team's been on fire.
red hot. Yeah, he would have been awesome to have on here
Yeah.
just to hear some shit talk from him and yeah, I mean, like I said, I've always liked Rick's team all year. I've said it multiple times. And I mean, Lamar Jackson, what a start, man. I mean, we kind of talked about throwing him, him throwing a 40 spot up is really, really good. Jesus, I gotta meet these guys. We're in the middle of Eagles country right now. So all my Westchester guys are like loving life.
Are
I'm like,
they? I haven't. What's
I have no idea.
down 10-6?
Are they still down 10-6? Yeah, it's been a pretty rough half in that game, to be honest with you. Um,
Man, B Rob 61 and a touch.
yeah, I was gonna say he scored early, so nice.
That was a big man run.
It was. But yeah, I mean, hey, Phil's been putting up some points. I'll give him credit. I mean, he's got three wins, but his point total has been pretty respectable, I'll say. You would have taken him here if he would have played Cousins. You told me that. So
Yep.
uh, but hey, it is what it is. You know, he tough matchup when you 132 is the second best point total of the week. So, hey, good for him. I mean,
Yeah,
it,
man. Phil's
throw,
teams, he's like a spike week team, man. He's up and down, is up and down, but you
yep,
know, it's just, like these kind of like the teams like mine and Phil and like Logan, like there's, at this point there's not really much to say about them.
yep, yep.
Bijan looks awesome though. So it kind of sucks that because I feel like Bijan legitimately could finish as the RB1 overall, and
Yeah.
he likely, I mean, he's on track to, and it kind of sucks that we might not get him in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he's the number two right now in terms of points per game.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
behind Henry and Saquon. But
Yeah, I think
yeah,
he's I don't know, he's arguably like the second or
I
third.
think yeah, I think or I think I saw he was like RB1 over the last like 4 or 5 weeks or something.
Well, that's half.
So
So
that would make sense.
point per, points per game, third. Actually, Kabara's too. And points
Oh
per
shit.
yeah,
Okay.
it's average.
Look at Chuba Hubbard.
Let's go total points. I guess
Hell yeah, Chuba.
that's where Chuba goes up in six. But I mean, probably on average, he's right there. Oops,
Yeah.
he's down a little bit, 14 on a points per game basis. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Bijan's definitely. I think we kind of hit on him a little bit. I think this is like his fourth or fifth 20-point week. So he's been,
Almost 30.
yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
20 plus
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Yeah.
5 weeks straight. I
I'm
mean,
with you.
yeah, he's been great.
Yep.
Good Lord, these guys are going nuts. Hopefully, well, it is what it is. I don't have.
Let's get into week
Yep.
12 or week 11.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down because I'm hoping we'll get the Bastards on at some point. So I'll start down a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, Thursday night's rolling right now, live. So
A
we're up.
live scoring.
We'll get some fun. Yeah. Saquon's got 14. We'll just kind of note there where start of the fourth. So yeah, it's been got kind of tough sledding. I mean, 14 is a nice week. Or a nice point total, I should say, just based on the fact that like the Eagles only have 6 points right now. So um, God, all these guys are just bum rushing my text messages. I don't even know how to silence them, to be honest with you. Can I do it on my computer? It's not great TV, but
Yeah, just can you just exit out of the messaging app?
yeah, I hit quit messages, but I'm still getting them. We'll see. We'll see if that helps. Um,
It's probably incredibly entertaining for the
yeah, that's
listeners,
what I'm saying. Ding,
the
ding,
league
ding,
listeners. Oh,
ding.
Saquon's in the red zone. All right.
Okay,
So
there
we'll
you
see what he ends up with. But
go.
man, I'm
What
sorry.
go ahead.
Um,
What are you looking at?
oh, he's got the Russ Mike Williams stack. Okay. Jameson, who actually I think Jameson Williams is like a pretty good play this week. Um,
Yeah, I don't think he did much last week. What did he? I mean,
yeah, he got
literally,
one target.
literally nothing. Yeah, yeah. Jesus,
No, he didn't get anything. Yeah, but
wild.
5 for 35. Yeah, I think he could catch a long touchdown.
Me too.
Jacksonville's a mess. But yeah, Henry. I think that's going to be a higher scoring game. So I mean, Derrick Henry, he's got to be like even money to score a touchdown every week. Um, Andrews got man, four guys in that one game.
Yeah,
Juwan Jennings I think, is a pretty solid play too.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, he's an
Seattle
interesting flex. I mean, because he probably doesn't want to play. I mean, Jordan Addison is probably like the
on the
only play,
field.
or
Yeah.
Pittman. I mean, I guess Pittman could he could.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't want to play any of his bench players.
no, no.
Maybe Jonnu, like legitimately, like maybe Jonnu, but
I
you
actually thought
know,
that was a pretty
you're
good pickup.
starting Andrews.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good pickup. Like, there's times where like I see guys pick up players during like the just like on a whim. Like I think you picked up who'd you just pick? You just picked up somebody. I forgot who it was.
I picked up Arizona's D. I picked up Anthony
Oh, it
Richardson.
was Marshawn
Picked up
Marshawn Lloyd.
I picked up Marshawn Lloyd and stashed him.
Yeah,
And
that was good. I really like when you did that. I mean, it made total sense for you, but like I was just like, damn, like that's a great. I thought that was a great pickup. Like, I mean, I kind of should have as a Packers fan like tried to like just stash that guy because I think he's gonna do something.
yeah, I think he'll be involved and he'll be the number two.
God forbid, what's his name's hurt, gets hurt. Like,
Yeah, or they even want to like, if they're like looking pretty good for the playoffs, they may want to just be like, all right, let's see what Lloyd can do. Get him some touches, get him like up to speed before they get into the playoffs. So it's a possibility that it won't just be all Josh Jacobs.
yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this. Hopefully, I don't have as many pings, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, let's go projections here. I mean, I kind of like the Goose again,
Same.
unfortunately.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I'm gonna go. I think the Goose is probably the pick. Damn, never mind, didn't help. Um, but yeah, I like.
Dude, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I mean, Purdy like he's got great matchups too. Like Purdy against Seattle, like I could see like a 270 and two game from Purdy. Like, Chase is always solid. He's got Chargers have been their defense like doesn't give up points. So that might be a lower scoring game, but like he's just gonna get funneled. Garrett Wilson's in a really smash spot against Indy, Mixon in Dallas. Like he could have some pretty massive weeks from and even Hunter Henry like is sort of like due for like a bounce back game. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Aaron. I don't unless the Henry and unless Saquon can put up like close to 25, like I don't know. I don't know like where
Yeah, I mean, well,
Ryan would
I
would
guess they
would sort of like stack up on a level where I'm like confident that I know Aaron's guys are gonna put up points.
yeah, yeah. Well, at least I got the pings gone, so that's good. They just scored. I don't know who just scored for the Eagles, but they just scored a tutty. So I mean, it wasn't Saquon,
Um,
but
it was Hurts.
God, man, he's been
Hurts on a run. Hurts on a it, well, and it says Hurts on a 1 yard run. I'm assuming it was a tush push.
no, it always is. They're electric with that. Yeah, I like the Goose. Goose got to feel pretty good about his team. His team's pretty stacked. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, man.
really he's got a really nice team. He's throwing Tajay with Connor out, which I like. I think I mean you had Spears for a little bit. I think he got a
Yeah,
good run last week.
he. Yeah, I think that is a good play. Spears is he if the split's sort of the same, he's still pretty good because he's good for like 5 catches or like 4 or 5 catches in for like 4 for 40. That's gets you 8 points. That's like pretty solid.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like the Goose again.
Yep.
Big week for Ryan. I mean Ryan really needs a win here, but tough.
Huge week for Ryan. Low key, if he still slides, he legitimately over the next 3 weeks might be a candidate for the song. Like
Yeah,
I'm like
that'd be fun.
like I know his what are his point totals at?
Let's go to the league. Let's go to the league page.
Because I know he has. I mean, in terms
Uh,
of total points, he's
744.
up 50 on me. He's up, but I'm just saying in terms of record, like,
It's going to come down to record, I think, because
if he's
I
if
mean,
he's 4-7 and two of the
yeah,
3-7 teams win, then he's around like 9 or 10. Who knows? But I
yeah,
don't I don't think that'll happen. I think Ryan can stack up a couple wins, but
yeah. Those
tough
RBs, those
tough to say.
RBs are almost like too good. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens there. Yeah, like what's going on here. I mean, you play Dre and Daniel's having a very subdued game tonight.
Yikes.
Lackluster
Are
game.
you at you're on my matchup.
Yeah, I'm
So
just going up top down because I want to
yep.
buy a little time. I don't know if we're gonna get Logue. Hopefully we do at some point, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean this is an interesting one. I mean, I think
Wow.
you gotta love what you see at least early on here. I mean, just based off of projections. I mean, it was supposed to be 119 to
Yeah,
105.
118 to 105.
AJ
Yeah,
Brown, they're just not
I
getting anything
mean,
going. I mean,
I
they're
gotta. There's a lot
good.
of game left. I think,
Yep.
or the fourth quarter, but I think, yeah, this has been one of Daniels didn't do much last week either.
I think he had like 9 last week.
Yeah, so it's been a couple
Eight.
sort of
Yeah.
down weeks for Daniels. AJ Brown, unless he scores, he'll probably finish with like 14, 15.
Yep.
Um, you know, we'll see. I mean, I definitely thought that these two players would put up a lot more points. I didn't know the under was going to hit in this game.
No,
But
I didn't expect this at all. I mean,
what
it's
was
funny. I thought I have no idea what the over under was, but I did think. I mean, hey, the Eagles playing Washington. The Thursday night games are so weird, man.
49 was the over under in
Under's
this
gonna
game.
cash all day. I mean, there's only 10 minutes left in the game.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I mean, and your team's getting healthy. I mean, you get
a little
hopefully. I
bit.
mean, all intents and purposes, I think Collins comes back this week.
Yep,
So I
should.
mean, Monday night game at Dallas. That's a juicy matchup for sure.
It's going to
And
be
then
the same thing this week too, just like waiting and sweating, praying
early. Yep.
praying Nico plays because I think someone picked up John Mechie. Did they?
I'm not 100% sure to be honest with you, but I do.
We might be able to do this live. If they didn't, I'm gonna fucking pick them up.
Go
Nope.
ahead. No, I
All
don't
right.
think.
Well, that's easy enough.
Yeah. Well, I do think Collins probably plays. I think they, cautionary reasons probably kept him out last week, but I mean he's had 5 weeks now to come back. I think he's healthy. At least that's just my take. I do think he's gonna play. It's everything kind of points to it, but yeah, more to come. We'll see.
All right,
I
cool.
like the Smith.
We just had an on air another transaction. I actually just made one. You can refresh the screen. I at least just
Oh,
covered myself if Nico's out again.
well, a little Mechie pickup. He was
Yeah.
indeed available.
Yeah. So it's either Collins or Mechie, I guess.
Good
Um,
pickup. Good pickup.
and then um, and that was tough because I like AD Mitchell. But I legitimately thought, and I'm not I'm probably gonna play Burrow, but I'm not out on starting Anthony Richardson because I'm like and the reason being I know everyone in the chat kind of rags on me for being the Richardson stan,
Guy.
but one it's a ridiculous matchup against the Jets. Like the Jets when they can get a pass rush with Will McDonald who's been awesome, like Richardson doesn't take sacks.
Yeah.
And that's like a big difference when people talk about him versus like Justin Fields or something like Richardson doesn't take sacks, and I don't know how the Jets are going to get to him. They don't get a lot of pressure, and I think they're going to get run all over. So it wouldn't surprise me if Anthony Richardson just comes out and just like has a pretty solid game and like maybe runs for 2 touchdowns. And part of me kind of wants to just like, I bought all the fucking way in on this guy. Why don't I just go in? Like I'm 3-7. Like I know the defense he's playing, and let's just dive in. But I'm probably not gonna do that. I'm probably gonna start Burrow. Um,
I don't see how you don't, to be honest with you. I mean, it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
Burrow's been so good,
yeah,
and even though the Chargers D has been great, he's got he's looked great all year.
yeah,
But it's not a bad take. You know your team better than anyone. I mean, in terms of the Jets D, so and I know you definitely have more shares than most with Anthony Richardson, but yeah, hopefully he got humbled a little bit in the last couple weeks. So we'll see, more to come. But
yeah, yeah,
this is looking good. A very good start on Thursday night so far. A few
yeah,
minutes left in the game, obviously, but
yep.
it happens
Yep.
here.
And I kind of like some of my matchups, man. Like I like Debo in Seattle. Like
Yep.
I like JSN in that same game. I think JSN's coming off of what we saw before the bye. Like, when DK was out, 13 targets. We saw him like sort of
Yep.
take over the Tyler Lockett role, moving a little bit more downfield.
Mhm.
And he was just so open on so many plays. Um, I think he's pretty much, and then I get Jacobs back, and we'll see. Maybe the Jets D can turn over Richardson, but who knows? And I like Hawkinson, so you know,
Gotta go,
I'm a
Braylon.
solid team. I'm just
That's tough.
like I'm always gonna put up like 100, and maybe I get lucky with like a couple guys putting up 20, and I can get into like the 120 range. But we'll see. That's kind of just like where my team is right now. It
Yeah.
sucks I don't have Neighbors or Tracy because Tyron
Yeah.
Tracy's been like arguably my best player over the
He's
last couple
been
weeks.
great. Yeah, which in a very bad team, he's probably been the bright spot, which is you would neighbor started out that way, but Daniel
Yep.
Jones's deficiencies definitely are killing him. But yeah, I
And
mean,
yeah.
we'll see. I mean, you're right. It's a tough week. It's a tough week with a couple buys for you guys because you gotta play Braylon Allen and hope he scores. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I'm praying for a touchdown.
yep. Yep.
Or maybe they could do what they did against Tennessee and like actually like utilize both of their backs in the passing game, which they don't do enough. So
Yep. No, I hear you.
Very
Yeah.
soon.
So we'll yeah, more to come. Good start so far. We'll see where you shake out.
I'm still picking Andy, by the way, to
Yeah,
win.
I got it. I got Andy on a slight edge too.
Yeah.
Tough.
That to say, I'm still picking Andy to win.
So am I. I mean, he's got some firepower still left in his lineup, and
Yeah.
you got to hit on a couple guys, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Arby's having okay week. McLaurin really quiet for Phil, unfortunately, so far.
McLaurin was at 0 until like a minute
I
ago.
was gonna say I only saw the first half. I know you didn't have to catch in the first half.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I mean, this is tough for Phil, man. Arby's is really kind of rounding out. I mean, 6-4. He's kind of treading,
Yep.
trending in the right direction late here. T. Higgins, we just mentioned a little bit earlier. I mean, I don't necessarily know if he plays. If he doesn't, I mean, he's got a, I mean, I guess he'll play. I mean, SMA could be his guy. I mean, Brian Thomas. I mean, without unfortunately with Mac Jones, like Brian Thomas has just been useless. The lot
Yeah,
even
man.
weeks ago when he came back from the injury, which like maybe they should have kept him out. I don't know how healthy he is, but yeah, without Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones doesn't. He's a downfield threat, and like he's not getting those looks. So it's like it's just
Yeah.
tough. I mean,
Yeah.
he's such a good receiver. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see where he gets to. I do think Arby's team overall has a pretty nice lineup this week. I mean, Phil's going with Bo Nix. I mean, he's not been terrible, but
No,
uh,
he's been pretty solid.
is this like maybe his fifth starting quarterback for the year, Phil, which is kind of unique in a fantasy rotation point.
Yeah. Pretty strange. He yeah, he's been streaming for a while. Um
It Fields, he had
He
Rodgers.
had Justin Herbert for like the longest time.
Yep.
And um I don't remember what week he let him go, but I know Herbert's been like Herbert. I mean, Herbert's been he might maybe not for fantasy, but like Justin Herbert's been awesome this year.
Yeah, he's been lately. He's been great too.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, but
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk Cousins, at Denver, kind of a scary matchup, I guess. So maybe he's kind of just trying to stay away from it. But interesting to
Yeah.
see Bo Nix in that same game. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, we always, I think Phil probably gets the most scrutiny in the league, I would say by far, for some of his moves. And like, honestly, he's put together a pretty solid team. I mean, 3-7 is not a great record, but I mean, he's been competitive and putting up points. It's just that
Yep.
he's kind of running into some tough matchups, and then he's kind of had a couple duds. I mean, Jalen Waddle. I mean, maybe he hits this week. I mean, playing at home against Las Vegas is a nice matchup. Bijan's
Yeah. If
great.
not now, when? You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Yep. So he's gonna, especially after the start that he's getting from Terry McLaurin, he's really gonna need to make up some points. Not that Hurts is going off, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's Arby's got his full array of guys to throw out there this week. So yeah, I got to go Arby's. I mean, it's so far kind of chalk, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arby's. I low key think though, I have a take that just came to me. I low key think this week, wouldn't surprise me if like somehow Vegas like wins that game.
yeah,
Like, you know, I don't know. The way
kind of
things have been
fair
trending
game.
for Miami, I don't know if there's ever been like a coach recently who's like everyone just seems to like dislike now. Do you get that sense? Like Mike McDaniel was like he was like
Dude.
the coach, and now everyone's just kind of like, you kind of suck. And
I
no, and everyone's like over like the shtick, you
yeah,
know?
I mean, I mean, that was a pretty good win, I would say, on Monday night. I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
the Rams
yeah,
were,
for sure.
I mean, everyone
Yeah,
was kind
yeah,
of riding high on the Rams for a while. They get their full complement of receivers back, and like, I think people did really. I mean, they were 2.5 dogs. I think Miami in that game. So like, they outright won by. I mean, they had control of the whole game. So I mean,
yeah. It was a good win. I don't think they played particularly well on
no,
offense.
I don't think so either. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
no one really did
Right,
anything in that game, but I do
right.
think like, for his maybe for a little bit. I mean, they were scoring like 50 points last week or last year, I should say, as like an offense.
It
Remember,
was
like
nuts.
they
It was
were, or what
nuts.
did they score? 72 in one game, or it was some
Yeah,
they
they over Denver
ridiculous total.
scored
Yeah,
like
like
70. Yeah.
so, like which is kind of funny that we're like kind of talking about them playing the Raiders this week, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think. I mean, the two injury for sure played a huge factor in that offense and that team, but their defense isn't really that great overall. I don't think. I mean, outside of maybe like their secondary with some like Poyer and obviously Ramsey, but
Yeah,
I don't really
Javon
love.
Holland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they have a good. I think their defense overall is okay, but like.
Yeah.
they don't get any pressure on the quarterback really. So I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. More to come.
Yeah, it was just interesting. I just feel like this is like the kind of game where like, because no one really talks about the Raiders ever because they suck. And but like I feel like this could be like a weird random game where like Gardner Minshew like plays well and like Brock Bowers goes nuts and the Raiders defense like shows up and like plays pretty well. And then things like really start to get off the rails in Miami where Tyreek's saying stuff and it could be a total misread on my part. I just feel like I feel it sort of has that vibe.
No, I mean I agree. Saquon just ran one in for 23 yards.
Touchdown?
So, yeah.
Damn.
So good for Ryan. That's what he needed. I
Yeah.
again like Arby's.
I'm
Got
with it. Yeah, I like Arby's too.
a healthy team. It's gonna be a tough one. Ant's got Riggs. I mean, trying to climb the ladder. Man, Devontae Smith.
E. Yeah.
Yeah, tough. I mean, damn. Riggs got his full lineup going this week as well. Not playing Jaden Reed
122.
or Harrison has a bye. Okay.
Man.
Yeah, so no one's really built. I mean, there was a couple 120 marks last week, and no one really got to him. I think Andy and someone else had like 120. I forgot who else, but like they only finished around 100. But um, yeah, Devontae Smith, that's tough.
Really high projection.
Didn't have a really great start to this. There's only
CMC, man.
yeah, that could. I mean, and he didn't really have. He had, like I said, 16 or 17 last week, but very
Yeah.
subdued. So
Yeah.
he could definitely.
16 as like a floor
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
yeah. So that this is Ant's lineup, man. Like he's
Yeah.
finally, he kind of made the moves that we kind of hit on last week. Chu was on bye this week, so he's got to play Stevenson, and I think
It's
play
yeah, it's tough.
Tom.
It's tough. I almost like really want to find a way to get Ridley in his lineup.
It's hard.
Um, but I
Maybe
don't,
Smith would have been the only move I think this week if you wanted to, but I mean, yeah, I would have built it as a high scoring game for Thursday night. So
yeah, I don't yeah,
uh,
I would have played Smith.
me too. Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
gotta go Riggs. I hate to say it, yeah, but um, yeah, just like I mean, unless that Mahomes Hopkins stack on Sunday afternoon kind of like goes off a little bit. I mean, because that you make up points pretty quick in that matchup because you have the stack.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that, like I mean, good team. Like he has a good lineup, but I just don't see like I look over at
Yeah.
Steve's team and I'm like, dude, like Steve's team's Pickens might have a little subdue game. We'll see. I like Sutton, like
Yeah, we'll
how
see.
Gibbs against Jacksonville. He's gonna eat. Williams, I don't know. He had a subdue game last week. I think he gets back in the end zone. Kittle's been a monster, and Dobbins has been great. Cincinnati's D sucks.
Yeah. I can't yeah, and Cincinnati's running D has been
Very bad.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I can name a safety on Seattle right now.
And Legion of Boom is dead.
Because I can't even think of a safety that they have because I know their linebackers I think their linebackers are like sort of athletic, but I mean Kittle like he could I mean
Kill's been so good this year.
yeah I'm gonna pick Steve too. I think he just has too many good players and
Yeah,
in like really good spots
that's what I'm
like
saying. Like the matchups are
yeah
great. Like he
Like Kyron's probably his like messiest matchup I guess, but like I mean, I feel like New England's been like punching over their weight class lately, and like they just whooped on Chicago. Like I think LA can come back and just be like, all right, like just put up like 24 and Kyron gets like two touchdowns.
Yep. Yeah, I think so too. And Steve, if you're not going to play Jaden Reed, I'll gladly take him. I mean, what? Just throw it on offer. I mean, you want one of my receivers? I would love to.
Dude, yeah,
Take
Trey,
him in the lineup.
Jade, man, dude, Jaden Reed has to be in lineups. Why isn't he in lineups? This is why we need an extra flex.
Yeah, I mean, this is like probably like one of the very few teams that you could probably say that to, like out and out, right? Because like Steve's team's pretty stacked. But I mean,
Yeah, but like
I like
well,
the I
if you're
we
Anthony,
flirted with the double flex.
wouldn't you also want to play
Really?
like
Sure,
Shakir or Ridley?
sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I hey, every year's a
Yeah,
different boat.
I motion it every year.
We had it for a little bit.
Yeah, never,
I
yeah.
don't I think it comes down to that guys and it is true. Like when injuries happen, like it would be tough to roll. Like I would have a tough time sometimes rolling out a second flex. Like
Sure.
that does make and break lineups. Like I mean, Anthony gets Ridley or Shakir, and I got to throw out like I don't know, Leggett, like whenever he's like not this week. I'm just saying like that probably would be my
Yeah.
flex. Like you know what I mean. So like it does
Yeah.
it
I
changes it changes your
oh totally.
it
I
definitely
totally understand that perspective. Yeah.
yeah, it definitely. I
100%.
think you're right though. I mean, the guys that draft for depth and hit are the teams that are gonna, those are the cream of the crop. They're gonna float to the top. So I mean that it's not a bad take. I did enjoy it for I think the year or two. Maybe it was 1 year. I don't remember how long we had it, but it was
I think it was just 1 year.
yeah. I was gonna say I think that's when everyone kind of went back and were like, damn, it is tough to float a second flex out. So we'll see. I like the three. I might lean more towards the three wide receiver. Um,
I'm down for that too.
than a flex. Yeah, because like I think that in a PPR league would be pretty fun.
Yep.
And honestly, we kind of I think overall we retracted this year on a fantasy points perspective to like the running back. I think the running backs have
Oh
been
yeah.
phenomenal this year. I mean, not to say the receivers haven't, but I think there's definitely been more of a higher floor for running backs for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I
Uh,
think that's reflective. I think I saw a stat. It was like the if you were just playing a flex play on a weekly basis, like the I think like you would rather have played like 16 running backs as opposed to like 10 wide receivers. Like they're like the way that the scoring works is like running like more running backs are scoring more points than the top receivers, which was
yeah,
flipped from last year because last year less running backs were scoring that much. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I mean that's a great take. And honestly, I mean, you in a full point. This is my only league that I do a full point PPR league, and it's
Mm,
you always put the precedence of like drafting receivers early, I think, and like also building your team out with receivers. And like, I mean, I don't know, this year I don't think it was as big of a deal as years past. Like, I mean, I didn't necessarily draft heavy at running back, and like looking back at it, like yeah, just seeing the draft board, I'm like, ah, man, like I definitely changed my draft hierarchy or tiers based off of like receivers. And I mean, and naturally that kind of how our league played out in years past.
yep.
So yeah,
Totally. Dude, totally. If I would have had the knowledge of where running back would have been, I would have taken David Montgomery or I would have taken David Montgomery over Tank Dell, and I would have taken Najee Harris over Xavier Worthy. But my thought was I was just always going to play a receiver in the flex,
yeah,
and I didn't think scoring on running backs would be this high.
yeah,
So, those if doing that, my team looks, immensely better.
yeah.
But
No, I that's
it's an interesting trend that to track like this year on how things have like sort of flipped where like if you like legitimately like need good running backs to like make a run.
yeah. No, and it's interesting like like looking at some draft builds. Like I mean, we can go through it maybe when we get to like the power rankings if we want to like look at just like teams overall if we get a quick couple minutes, but. Um, I think a lot of teams did the same thing we did. Like there was not a lot of RB depth for most teams. Like
Right.
so
Yeah,
it's yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we'll see where the league goes. I mean, I do think every year is kind of unique, but yeah, to your point,
totally.
I do think it was a little different this year. Let's get to the beef
Ooh,
against shit. This is
man.
I'm very, very interested to see. I gotta imagine. Well, I don't know. They were down the Tampa boys, the San Fran boys, I should say, were down in Tampa um last week. So we'll see if I don't know if Rick is gonna send anything to Beef as like a taunt almost this week.
Maybe. Saquon just scored again.
Damn, no way.
39 yards, yeah. Philly just blew this game open.
Yeah, well, I just saw it went to 26 to 10, so I knew somebody scored.
Yeah.
Damn, that's great for Ryan.
Yep.
Maybe we'll go back to his matchup real quick. Any case,
Saquon, man, he's at 26 for 146 and two. What a fucking stud.
15, 12. Yeah, he's got almost 30. Jeez. Yeah, I mean that's really keeping Ryan afloat during all the injuries. We'll get back, maybe we'll tap back into him. Um, yeah, this is interesting. I mean, Brian Robinson Jr., he had to play him. He's back, he's healthy. We kind of noted that was kind of where his depth ended up. Interesting, he's gonna play Ricky Pearsall. I mean, he scored last week, first touchdown of his career. So um I
Good for
Guess he
him.
probably likes him a little bit more than some. I mean, got to play him over ETN. I would probably do the same. Um,
Yep.
Keenan Allen's
Yeah,
been
probably.
Chicago's been atrocious, so don't hate that idea. Silly Goose is making a little move here. Elijah Moore
Yeah,
that
he
hurts.
totally needed to have Elijah Moore right now. He couldn't wait 4 minutes to drop Zach Ertz.
I love, dude.
It's really
Actually,
funny.
like
Because
I
I'm
kind
like,
of
what if Zach Ertz catches the touchdown?
yeah. I was gonna say I kind of like the yeah, these additions while we're on the pod. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beeve's done a kind of an uphill battle, at least in terms of projections on this one. He gets DK,
Yeah.
you mentioned. So
Nice. Yeah, hell yeah.
Tucker Craft slides in for McBride and we mentioned Herbert. I guess Beeve
Yep.
has. I didn't realize who actually picked him up.
Yeah, I don't he got him off waivers. He put
Yep.
like I think he put like $7 on him or something.
Hey, we can go to the Fabs after this. Yeah, I think it was he picked him up this week for sure.
Yeah.
I did remember him floating around in the Fab bid. So, but Rick kind of hot. I mean, and that
Yeah.
Pittsburgh matchup's gonna be tough. But Lamar, I feel like Lamar 24 is like, I mean, that's like his floor. I mean, I think he'll get 30 for sure in that
Yeah.
matchup. So,
What do what's
interesting.
Yahoo doing with the projection on Darnell Mooney?
They're a
Like
little spot. You like
I
that?
know
Or
I
love
know
that?
they're in Denver, but like Darnell Mooney's like isn't he like a top 15 receiver this year? Why is he not up at like 12?
He's been killing it. Yeah.
What's the deal?
What is Darnold?
I get so weird about things like that. I'm like, are they just like locking on to like what their original point projection was? They have to
Yeah,
be.
Darnell Mooney's 8 on a total points per projection. Let's see what he's
Like, he's got to be in like the top 15.
points per game. He's 19 on a points per game basis, which is kind of a little skewed because guys don't play some weeks, but
Sure.
total points he's 8. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the deal? 10 projected points? That seems wrong.
Downs with a little 13 with Richardson. I don't know. I don't know if he'll hit that. We'll see.
Yeah.
He's got to play Cedric Tillman too. I mean, DJ Moore, what a disappointment. I mean, he's got to bench DJ Moore.
Oh,
That's
dude. Yeah, I'd be fired. I would definitely play Cedric Tillman over DJ Moore.
oh for sure. That's what I'm not
Yeah,
knocking him
yeah.
as
Cedric
the
Tillman
play.
looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the
Lad.
fact that like you're
Oh
benching
man,
DJ
I want to get Lad in that game. Seems fun, man.
honestly,
He's got a lot of fun players.
Lad would not be a bad play if you're going against Herbert this week. So yeah, I mean, that'd be
Yeah, you can
more
get
to
a
come. More to
little
come.
gamesmanship, little hedge. But
Yeah, I don't I do you I mean as a manager, I mean I look at that shit all the time. Like I always try if like there's a questionable play, I'm like, I'll play the guy
yep,
that
it
is
definitely
for the
it
guy.
definitely factors in
You
a
have
little
to.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a consideration. I don't necessarily know. It would just be in like a tiebreaker scenario though.
Yeah. No, it's yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah, I hear
guess
what
I
you're
would
saying.
lead to that if I had to.
Yep,
Yeah.
right.
I think
Agreed.
it's gonna be a really tight game. This is gonna be a good matchup. This is a big matchup, not for Beeve because Beeve gets 7-4. I mean, he's still sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Blizzard's locked into the seventh spot. He's hunting it down. I'm gonna go ship Blizzard. I'm gonna go ship him.
Yes. Yeah. Same. I
And
think cause I mean the two outside of Lamar because he's
yeah,
always stands out, but Jonathan Taylor and David Montgomery I think are both going to score. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them score twice. Um, and that's and you know you're
let's
pretty set.
let's
So
retract on the fact that like, dude, the Lions, unbelievable win. Like, how does Houston not score a point in the second half? Like,
team that kind of shit to me is like that's like a team of destiny like moment. Like
definitely,
I
like,
think
they're on a
and
roll.
it was yeah, and it was that it was I we saw some of that stuff with San Francisco last year
Yep,
where they just like ran real hot and that's how the Lions sort of feel right now
they're
where they're
a
just
tight
like
game.
they're running really hot
Yep.
and you know, knock on wood, like they don't have many injuries. They're running pretty pure right now. I think they even get Taylor Decker back this week, their left tackle. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, they're
Crazy. Crazy. Goff throws 5 picks
they
and they
win.
won.
Yeah,
Insane.
watching that, I mean, as a Packers fan, I was definitely, I
Same
mean,
team.
I don't know if we're gonna have a chance to catch them and we play them one more time and we got some division games coming up and the Niners next week, but yeah, I mean, I mean, you see them pull that out and you're like, after they scored to make it a one touchdown game, I'm like, they're gonna win this game. And sure enough, they did. Like,
Yep.
crazy ending. Yeah, I got the Blizzard again, man, and
Yep.
um
Same.
little preview. Blizzard has committed to next week, so we'll have
Hell yeah.
Blizzard after this week. So
Sick.
it might be we should have hopefully any minute now, Commissioner will be joining us, but we'll get him
Yeah.
here. That's what he says. Well, we'll see what happens. You know how he is. His timeliness is not always accurate, but
Yeah. Right.
um, this is billed to be like the closest matchup projection wise of all the matchups. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's he's got a good lineup. I'll say that. I mean, this is his squad. I mean, there's really nothing to he has no moves to make. The only move I can make is probably putting Freiermuth in for Kincaid. I don't know if Kincaid's going to play this week. And Arby's had a nice move. He picked up he needed a tight end. He picked up Knox. So that was maybe a play that I was thinking about towards the later half of the week if once we see what the practice participation kind of is. But
Yeah.
uh, I don't love my matchups this week. I'll say that. I mean, I like Jordan Love this week. I mean, Chicago's got a tough D, but coming off a bye, hopefully he's a little healthier. I think that's a good matchup. Although flip side, like CJ Stroud at Dallas, like he looked pretty good in the first half of last week, and then
Yeah.
Detroit kind of got to him. Their offensive line's not great, but so we'll see if Parsons
Yeah.
plays pressure.
That's surprising to me. Is that surprising that Houston's offensive line's not good?
Not really. I mean, what they
Well, I
traded
just
for
know they
Lar-
played well at the end of last year, and like Laramie Tunsil's
I was just gonna say that
he's been like one of the best left tackles in the league. I mean, he's looked rough the last couple weeks.
they
Like if
traded
you like I remember when they played 2 weeks ago when they played the Jets, like Will McDonald like made him look silly, and there could have been like four holding calls
Yeah.
that McDonald got. So Tunsil's just, and even last week, like Tunsil's looked a little off. Um, but it's a really good spot for Houston though.
Yeah, I mean the Tank Dell probably takes a little tick down just because Nico might probably will be back, but against Dallas, I mean you got to figure Diggs probably sees a lot of Nico Collins. I mean that's really the
Yep.
only weapon they have on the back end for Dallas. So yeah,
Yeah.
I like his matchups a lot. I mean you got to figure Tyreek probably plays still. I mean I know it didn't really matter for Lug. We'll get him on here. It looks like he's trying to log in. But yeah,
He's in.
yeah, he didn't really get a lot of he didn't really need to swap him or Robinson. Didn't matter in that matchup. He only scored 70 points last week, so
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, my running down my matchups like Jefferson I like at Tennessee, obviously. Um, Even though he's been pretty regressed, I'll say, from the standpoint of like Sam Darnold sucks. Like he looks like he's like not he kind of is the Sam Darnold of old, if you want to call it that. But um, Flowers at Pittsburgh, tough. I mean, he hasn't been exactly the old reliable that, in terms of getting catches. I mean, last week, everyone but Zay Flowers caught balls, I feel like.
Yeah,
Um,
it's surprising.
Cook's not going to get a lot of run against KC. Gotta hope he gets some catches, in terms of that matchup. Swift will get it.
Should
Swift will
be
have
close though.
yeah,
Like,
Swift will get his floor. Packers aren't great on the run D standpoint. And then London gets Surtain. Like and there was like no defenses,
tough.
so I'm gonna ride Atlanta, I think. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean that my lineup's my lineup. I don't really love my matchups, so like it's gonna be a tough week for me to hopefully sink the bastards, but it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean,
We might split here. I mean, I don't because like I want to side with myself just because it's myself, but every time I side with myself, I lose. So
yeah, I'm gonna take Logue.
yeah,
Um, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take Logue. Reason being, I mean, he's got Kamara and Chubb. I think this could be a coming out game for Chubb. Like, welcome back. Bowers is probably gonna get his. And again, like I think even though I said Vegas might like randomly win, I think Tyreek Hill it could be like
yeah.
who on Vegas is gonna run with Tyreek Hill?
Yeah,
Like,
that's gonna be the big spot, I think, because I don't see. I don't see a lot of my guys getting past their project. I mean, maybe Jefferson scores too. I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, he
true.
hasn't scored a ton. He's been great. He's been like 16 to 25 every week, which is pretty awesome. But um, nothing out like no Jamar Chase 55 weeks. I mean, I mean, Tennessee's not the worst defense in the world. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough. I'll go myself because I think we need a split, obviously, in the projections, and then
Yeah.
the fact that like you know, Logan's fighting for his fucking season here. I mean, 3-7, and there he
There he
is.
is.
There he is. The old commish.
He's in.
Yeah.
Welcome, commish.
What's up?
I was enjoying listening.
I,
So
I I figured you were letting us run a little bit there.
Run in.
I was here the whole
I heard you, so I love look at the flag back there. Love that.
like that
Got
shit.
Um,
You're
go
zooming
ahead.
on. How do I zoom in on that shit?
I love this is your floor. You needed a floor for the league.
What flag is that?
Floor. Fight, 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 Trump. Come on now, stop.
Oh, I couldn't even see it.
Yeah, it's perfect. Hilarious.
There we go.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah.
And tackled. Um,
Rick, that's for you.
to Rick. Yeah, it is for Rick, the Tampa boy. Go ahead. This is your Florida. Just yeah,
I
your
just picked you, Logan.
state of the address, maybe. From the
Nah, there's no state of the there's no statement from the bastards. Um, the season's not over. I'm gonna hold a lot of my thoughts
okay.
myself.
All right. Well, thanks for
And
hopping on.
so
That's awesome.
hold on, I didn't finish. I'm gonna think about myself as a fantasy manager. I'm gonna think about who I am as a fucking father.
There you
What
go.
is this performance? This is such a fucking joke.
Yeah,
I
it's here.
sure. You know what? Honestly, like I've had some injury shit luck,
Yeah.
but that's not what's happening here. I think I had a shit draft. I think I had a shit draft. I got way too excited about CJ Stroud. The guy's a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
I'm
Log
gonna tell
or
you.
G,
He
pull up
looks
Logan's draft.
All right.
what?
Let's get into the draft,
Yeah,
babe.
yeah, pull that thing up. That's perfect.
See view all. Here's the bastards. Right to the left of us.
You're
I
the
mean, I
number
think
one pick. You're the number one pick.
Tyreek, I mean, you couldn't projected Tyreek to have the year he's had. It's been miserable.
Yep.
But I think you're right. I think the CJ Stroud thing, I mean, we noted it a couple weeks ago. I don't think it was a bad pick. Like, I thought CJ Stroud was gonna
I
be
do.
awesome. Like he just that offense is so stacked. I can't believe how like miserable he's been this year. Like he's had
Yeah,
only 10 points or less weeks, which
I
is
need
like
a dip for this.
yeah, get a dip for yourself. And then come back and let's criticize your team more. Um
What,
Well, I
Log,
mean,
why did
to
you
go
keep
back to
Christian Kirk?
all you
I
had
like my why'd I keep him?
Yeah, did you have other options?
Yeah, James Conner, the round
Oh,
before.
oh my God. In the fifth?
Yeah, I remember talking to you about it, and you
Oh
fucking
man.
said, "Don't take Connor. He's gonna get hurt too."
Me?
Oh, dude, we
I
talked about
loved
it.
Connor.
Oh no, you said no. Kirk, he's solid. He'll definitely be a stud.
Was I saying that to butter you up?
Nah, nah, nah. You were genuine. You can't fucking butter. You butter up everybody, but because you believe it. I mean, I love that about you.
I actually did. I actually thought Christian Kirk would be like a pretty solid play this year.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, honestly,
The thing with Stroud, and
what?
I didn't necessarily I think I had Stroud in my top 10. I didn't necessarily view him as like a top five. He was like the quarterback five in ADP preseason. He just like didn't I don't think he's I didn't I could see the bull case for Stroud, especially since we have a 6 point
I
passing touchdown league. Like I could see the bull case for him throwing like 37, 40 touchdowns. Like I could see it. But I think last year his season last year was like a little overrated. especially towards like the end in terms of fan because he only finished as like a quarterback one or like a top 12 quarterback like maybe like four times.
Mhm.
And like he doesn't run at all. He's running a little bit more this year, but
He's
in the
running.
fourth round, like
I have no data to base that on, but it feels like he's fucking running less because the guy can't get over 12 points without like fucking pulling his ass apart.
how
Yeah.
many he has 12 passing touchdowns this year. So he's at like,
It's tough.
he's got six picks and no,
He looks
well
scared out
against the
there.
Jets, he had this highest rushing total. But yeah, you're right. You're actually right, Luke. He doesn't run that much. I thought
No.
I was using the Jets game as like a microcosm for the
Right, it's like
season.
60
But
yards against the Jets. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
fucking
because
love
they don't
that.
stop
That was the
anyone
only
at
good
all.
game all year, I think.
Yeah. No, it's been pretty miserable for and like
Well,
Nico
he had
Collins.
a weapon added. So the guy had, Tank Dell came into his own and he gets a full off season with this guy. He's got Collins, and then they
Yep.
give him
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs.
losing Diggs and Evans crushed you.
Yeah.
And
Right. Yeah, so dude, guys, the Mike Evans, like I wanted to hold on to him, but I keep losing. So
I don't blame
what's that gonna do for
no,
me?
that was a fine trade. I don't know when Evans is gonna play.
you.
Right. Yeah. Dude, he his fucking hamstring blew off. It
Yeah.
looked that was terrible. He's
Yeah,
not playing week 11 or 12.
no.
Rick's an idiot.
I
He's
mean,
not
even
playing against
even if he does play, I mean, the fact that he could most likely will re-injure that hamstring like at some point.
Yeah.
If they're
yeah.
done, if their season's done, like why
Right.
why push it? You know, I mean, they're in
They
the hunt, but
yeah,
Right.
they're right in the they're currently
Right. So hold on a second.
well they're I didn't what's Tampa's record? Do you guys know off the
I
top of
have
your
no
head?
idea. Let me go into something quick because I'm looking at my team and
yeah,
I'm having a thought here. So injuries happen every fucking team. It's not because injuries that this is happening. I said that earlier. Obviously, a couple, Kirk, Diggs, Evans, and with Tyreek, you had Tua. But honestly, I think Tyreek looks a little shitty. He doesn't look that fast. I mean, he's not really getting open that much. I mean, even with Tua back. Um, and I had a good pick. Here are my good picks. Brock Bowers, good
awesome.
pick,
Stud.
and Kamara
Yeah,
in the third round. Those are my two good picks. That's it.
yeah.
Look at look at this. Look at pick 8. What the fuck am I doing picking Nick Chubb, who's I already knew is out for 4 weeks. So
Ah,
I get Nick Chubb. And then I go Trey Benson, who is a rookie behind James Conner on some whim that James Conner is definitely getting hurt, probably because I heard it over and over from somebody that day. But it's my own decision. So then, wait a minute, we're moving. I can't.
sorry.
Done it.
I was seeing who was picked after Nick Chubb, but
It just let me. I'll wrap this up. Yeah. Oh God. Actually, I do want to find that out. Let's. This
Oh,
is not
Brian
very long.
Robinson taking one pick before Nick Chubb.
yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say, I was like looking through
No,
Pick.
actually that's not
top
correct.
Yeah. Wait. What? All
It
right.
was,
Hold on. Let
it
me
was.
just say this. This is it.
But
Picks 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, dude, what are these fucking picks? There's no upside, no safety whatsoever. I didn't even leave the draft with an RB2. I left the draft with the name Nick Chubb as my RB2,
yeah,
thinking he's fucking squatting. He'll be fine. Too risky, too insane. Two good picks of the draft. That's why I am where I am. And I deserve to sing a fucking song in a thong or a fucking skirt. I deserve it. And I'm actually looking forward to it because it's new and I like it. I like to do things. It got boring fucking making the playoffs every year. Missed it last year
you
and
were.
here, maybe last.
Yeah, I mean, last was not my projection for you at all because you've just been notorious for just like even if your team was you always draft really well. I will say that. So that definitely was your stack on CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs left that hole at RB2, and you never filled it. You're right, you never
Yeah.
filled.
The answer is this draft sucked. It was not good. It was holes all over the place. I mean, I didn't feel that good after the draft, but of course, Ben's telling me how great his draft was. I have to tell him, hey, hold on a second, my team's pretty fucking good too, but team sucks. Let's
Yeah.
look at the draft real quick, and I'm really curious how dumb this Nick Chubb pick is, because who
Let's
the fuck was there? I gotta see.
go
The picks are a little out of
around.
order. Because Phil picked right after you.
All right, god damn
This
it. All
this
right,
is this is round, isn't it?
who does?
Yeah, well, it got a little skewed because it's having it has Nils as the second pick, and Nils was, I think he
Oh,
was like pick 11.
it's true. No, was he? Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, Andy did say that.
Yeah, he
So
was. This was skewed. Yep. Okay, well,
Google Drive
barring
that
us,
nobody
yeah,
knows
barring
about.
barring us trying to pull it up, like the actual like sticker board. I don't even know how I could necessarily do that from here, but um either regardless, yeah, you've had an unfortunate run. You got a nice projection this week though. I think I mean not just saying that 'cause you're playing me. I really my matchups kind of stink this week.
Dude, you know exactly what you're doing. You
No, I'm
love,
not. I'm not,
you
I'm not
know,
trying to do
if
that.
you
I'm
pick
not.
me, I'll fucking lose. That's what happens all
I
the time.
actually picked myself. Snyder picked you.
All right, I'll take that.
Yeah, so we split. That was our only split this week. But yeah, it's yeah, tough sledding. I mean, I don't like there's no upside with your like we've noted it unfortunately like there's no like Anthony just got healthy. Rick's kind of trending well. Phil's actually putting up some points. The only thing is like maybe even though he has a really good two RBs, like Ryan's rest of his roster is not really that great. So I mean I
Say
could
that
see
again. Ryan's what?
the rest of the rest of Ryan's roster. There you go. There's a lot of R's there. Um
Ryan's roster.
Ryan's roster is not great outside of his two running backs.
Spit
So like,
my pouch out trying to say that.
that's tough. That's a lot of R's. But yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to harp on it.
I think that's probably I think those are those are the trending teams I would say. I mean, Anthon points alone is definitely going to be in the hunt. I mean, he's got like less than 1,000 points. It's bad.
Yeah, yeah, it's getting hot though. He's getting hot. Starting to
Yeah.
heat up. The oven's finally preheated. Took
I
a
mean,
little
you got five in a row is tough to look at. I mean, I think oh, six in a row. Jesus Christ, six in a row.
You know what? I think Anthony should change his team name to something more Pizza Man related, just because that's who he is. So I hope he hears this. Make a timestamp of this. He should change his name to something Pizza Man related, because that's who he is. It embodies him, and that's who he should be. And Anthony, you should donate the fucking Finkel name to Phil so we can get that stupid name out of our league. Columbia White, the stupidest fucking name for a team I've ever seen. So give him like Fletcher Reed or even Finkel.
I did hate Fletcher Reed. Great movie.
Yeah, he's got to bring back Fletcher Reed.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's fine. That's fine. That's good. It's better than Colombian White. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. I
So
still don't know. You told me probably 5 times. I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
it's just a
know.
cocaine reference. I really honestly
It
think that's
is.
it. Yeah. Which is great. But yeah, I agree. There's really no substance to it. I'd like to hear from
Naming a
you.
team Mary Jane. Like, oh fuck. Uh,
Who do you like in the league this year? I mean, I think there's a lot of parity. We've been talking about it for a while, but there's two heavy hitters points wise, but
yeah, you might
uh,
have to actually have me as a regular now because I'm so bored with my own team.
you just
I
need
might as well have this.
some excitement.
Talk about Aaron's team. Why did Aaron drop Zach Ertz? He scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion
Yeah,
with
yeah.
8
I was
points.
just gonna say that. I just saw it right now, Sny. That's hilarious.
He,
For
he could
Elijah
have
Moore,
he
I
could
needed
have
Elijah Moore.
Yeah, Elijah
yeah,
Moore is huge for him. He really needed it because his tight end is Hunter Henry. He really needed to drop someone that's actually productive in the tight end spot. Unbelievable.
God damn it. What a fucking
just
idiot.
wait 5 minutes.
Aaron, you're just panicking. You're in first and he just panics. He's not a guy that loves to be up top. He's
Drop
shaking
Deontay Johnson.
Dude, he's a
right
fucking duck. He's a duck.
now. He's a duck. That's
Goddamn duck. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He's getting scared. He's quacking. And, it might work out for him. Sometimes it works out for the duck, but most of the time they get fucking killed.
out of the two out of the two guys that are, I would say, head and shoulders points wise over the league.
That's-
Would you either one of you guys? This is a question for all of us. Would you want to see Aaron win it, or would you want to see Steve win it?
I have to pick one of the two.
You have to pick one of the two because there right now.
Personally, who we would want?
Who would you personally want to see win the league out of those two? There's obviously other people we could throw in the hat, but
Yeah. Well, I'll answer it. Steve.
wow. All right. I actually did
Yeah.
not expect you to say that. I
Steve.
I'm gonna
I
say
legitimately don't know if I have a take on this.
I hate Steve. I hate Steve. I would never want to see Steve win it again.
Has Aaron won
Although
before?
I would like to see Aaron go grab the trophy with a fucking duck quacking. That'd be pretty awesome.
Has Aaron won the league before?
Yeah, he won it one year.
Like a while ago.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
won a while ago.
long time ago. Yeah, like
Oh, that's
10 years
right.
ago, probably.
That's the Andy Dalton, Jordan Todman, Matt Asiata team.
Oh
That
my
was the year. That was the
That's
year.
right.
That was like
Oh
that
my
was the year
God.
that he beat me in the playoffs
That
with
was
that
the worst
fucking
winning team probably in league history.
Andy Dalton that week threw like five tutties on me. Like
Yeah, and I think
it's
Matt Asiata had like
it's
three
great.
touchdowns.
Yeah, yeah. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost to that fucking team in the semis. Unbelievable, unbelievable. But
All right, so well, I answered, so somebody else answer that.
I said Aaron. I can't see Steve win it again.
How about this? We go with the top. We go with the top seven here, just because you're one of them, Gio.
Who do I
Uh,
want to see win it?
actually, let's just do top eight.
Are we
Those
power
bottom
ranking
four are
teams?
fucked.
Hey, power rankings? Yeah, you give us your power rankings because we did it last week. Who's your top eight? You can give the top eight.
Power rankings of what? Of strength of team? Because I couldn't tell you. I don't everybody.
Well, like you could do trending too. Like that Snide and I did it based off of like not record. We just did it off of like and like I think Nils was what
Vibes.
seven? Yeah, five or six. Yeah. Um, so like 7-3, like I don't know, like I think Nils' team's tanking a little bit. I mean, he probably feels the same way. I mean, he lost two in a row and projected wise might lose this week. So I mean, we'll see. But I think Riggs and the Goose are definitely the top two for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
points wise, roster wise, I think they're the top two.
Yep.
The
I have
reason
Arby's at three.
I was gonna say I was like Arby's or Plantation, I would say is probably three. Um, Andy at
That's a
four.
that's a good 3, 4, 5. And then I have Rick at 6. I have Ryan at 7, and then I have Nils at 8. Now I'm gonna flip it. I have Nils at 7.
That's what I would do. Yep. And you
Yep.
got Tiburon or Colombian White at eight. Who do you got?
Phil.
Phil over Tiburon. I like that. Yeah, I think so too. So I got Ryan at nine.
Got Bijan.
Yeah, I got Ryan at nine.
Ah, damn. I keep forgetting that Ryan has Saquon and Henry.
Those teams are that's
Ah,
unbelievable.
damn. Yeah, I can't. Yeah,
How
8
can
and
you
9
forget he
is
texts
is
he
where it's
texts
at. Yeah, and
every
I
week he
like my
texts us
power
that.
rankings I think are just like where they are, like the rest of the league. I'll put Finkel over. I'll actually put Finkel over Ulog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, dude.
Kind of tempted to put Finkel over me.
we'll see. Finkel's got a tough matchup against Riggs this week, so he might go down to 3-8. Um,
Yeah, but he's got McCaffrey.
yeah, that's certainly a nice plug for sure. Yeah, I
I'm
like
starting Braylon Allen.
yeah. Bye week suck, man.
Yeah. I don't have Tracy. It sucks. Yeah. So I think it's close to that, but I think Nils is he's the bottom of my playoff tier for sure.
Can Nils somehow not make the playoffs at 7-3? I don't think so, right?
He would probably have to lose out, and because then he'd be
Yeah.
7-7,
And he would lose, yeah. So 7-7,
and
yeah, you're
he
right.
wouldn't be he's not even close to getting there with points.
Not a chance. He's got the second least points.
He so realistically
Yeah, I guess you're right. He would have to lose four in a row. So he'd have to go on a six-game
he would
slog.
have to finish he would have to end like 7-7, and then unless Rick and Ryan both get real hot,
Yeah,
or
that's
one of the
actually
three
true.
and seven
Four,
teams.
4-6, that's gonna be tough. They gotta win three out of four. Not undoable, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn, man, the league's shaking out now, though. I think the top six are gonna make the playoffs.
yeah,
That was a huge win by Arby's last week. God damn. 6-4.
huge win,
Yeah.
huge win. It's wild. There's no teams that are 5-5.
Ryan's receivers fucking
Suck.
suck,
They're
but
Rough.
awful. They're
They're
awful.
rough.
Yeah, I mean, he lost Ayuk, and I mean, Pittman's been terrible, and then who else?
Pittman's been he's been one of the most disappointing players this year.
Horrible. And then
Dude,
he lost?
McLaurin had 2 points tonight. What a fucking joke.
Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, so weird.
Who did
Their
Jeez.
offense, I mean, their offense did nothing tonight.
besides Ayuk? He lost somebody else. Oh, Godwin. Was awesome for
Oh
him.
yeah, shit.
Snyder,
Oh,
what happened to your team? I thought it was good at one point. It's garbage.
it was good. He lost Chris Godwin.
No, yours. You.
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, I had Nico Collins on
Happy
IR
Anthony Richardson.
most of the year. Uh,
Yeah.
I had Richardson. I traded away AJ Brown. I thought
That
Debo was
wasn't that
better.
wasn't a bad trade. You still,
Who was better?
What's up?
Who'd you think was
Dude,
better?
I didn't have AJ Brown, Neighbors, and Collins since week one.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's tough. That was tough.
Damn it. That's a shame.
And
Damn
yeah,
shame.
and Richardson like destroyed me and then made a play, got Burrow. And Josh Jacobs has been solid, but he's like,
Doesn't score.
yeah, he never scores.
Yep. And he's like
So
the fifth in rushing yards, but he doesn't score any tutties.
yeah. And now I got Tracy on it. It's just tough. Like my team's like the bye weeks are just killing me because now I can't get like I think like at full strength my team's like pretty solid, but like now Neighbors and Tracy are on a bye, so I'm like, I gotta start Braylon Allen again.
Yeah.
But it's the way it
Yeah.
goes.
Injuries has been tough this year. I mean, I think they're always a huge factor every year, but I feel like a lot of players got hurt this year. Like a lot of big players.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like a lot of big injuries for the year, but like even for stretches, like you had Nico Collins out for 5 weeks.
sucked, dude.
Yeah,
It sucked, and it sucked too because I traded Tank Dell that week,
yeah.
and I definitely wouldn't have traded him if Collins was hurt.
Eyes on the bastards.
All right, I got my power rankings.
Give it to us.
Yeah, give it to us, and then I probably gotta hop off.
Yeah, that's
It's
who am I
fair.
forgetting? Who am I forgetting here?
So do I.
We
Uh,
have the standings up if you need for reference.
yeah, I got it. Nope, never mind.
Fire. I'd love to hear this.
All right. Well, I'll start from the bottom. Me, fucking not even close. Actually, kind of. Snyder is 11.
Okay.
Number 10, Tiburon. Your team was good before that injury. Sorry. Two great running backs, but pretty shit right now. I then have Phil Fletcher Reed.
Yeah.
I think he's got, I don't know, actually. Maybe I change my mind immediately on that. His team fucking sucks. Flop him and Snyder. Um, Number 8, Anthony. And I think he's trending up. He's trending up. His team's getting hot. Number 7, this team is in second place. And it's fucking Nils. Your team sucks, dude.
He's in third.
Third. But yeah, that's okay. We got you.
Tied for fucking second. Whatever. Whatever. Right after that, speaking of the guy tied with him, it's Steve. Steve, number 6. Number 5 is Arby's. Number 4 is shit. Blizzard.
Wow. Okay.
I think there's a run coming out of his ass towards the end of the
Yeah,
year.
he's been hot. He has been hot.
And speaking of somebody who loves shit, number 3 is Andre.
Wow. Green Bull is skyrocketing up these sky rankings. Let's see, power rankings, I should say. God.
Number 2 is Aaron.
Yeah, right. I'm not number one. Get out of here.
And here comes my kiss for you, Gio. Number 1.
Totally wrong. But I say this to Anthony all the time. I'm like, nobody's rooting for fucking Green Bull. Nobody in this league wants Green Bull to win another one. If I win another one, I think that's 5. I'll be the first one to 5.
Fuck,
Damn.
I can't. I don't know if I could say this on record. I don't know if I could say this, but I'm going to anyway.
Swap it.
I think I would rather you win again, Gio, than half this fucking league.
I appreciate that. I guess that's a half-ass sentiment, but I appreciate it.
Leave
Yeah,
it there.
I,
I'll
I
take questions in a few weeks.
the only guy I want to see, because your team's not going to win it, unfortunately, Logan. You never had a title, but I would love to see. Andy hasn't had a title, so I mean, if I don't win it, selfishly, obviously, I want to
Yeah,
win. I would root for Andy because Andy's been in the hunt for so many years, like just like
yeah.
you. But this year, I think he has a shot. I mean, his team's pretty good.
His
So
team is good. He's
that,
got
that would
a
be my dark horse pick. Because I don't want to see, definitely don't want to see Steve win it again. I'll tell you that. Um,
Yeah, that would just feel empty. I mean, Aaron at least like has passion for this league. I don't know what the fuck Steve has. Like, I don't know if he enjoys this. It seems like he does. I don't know. The guy kind of freaks me out.
he's the most active member in our league chat.
yeah, by
I
far.
know. It's like he needs a friend or something. He is always sending random thoughts, multiple messages, like it's not a group chat with 12 people. He just he's got to get a friend.
Steve, find a friend. What you do,
Steve,
let us
Steve,
know.
keep sending us stuff in the league chat.
Yeah, I like
It's good
appreciate it. I mean,
content.
I'm
No,
by far
I
not ever as active as Steve. I don't think anyone is. It's not you and Steve pretty much run that chat, to be honest with you. But yeah, I like Steve's take. Although Steve, to Luke's point, does send a lot of texts. I will say that. He said he's got a lot of time on his hands. He watches a lot of football, which I appreciate.
Watched a lot of football.
He is
yeah.
He
Oh,
is he is all over red zone updates.
he is he's
Like he'll send a text and he's like, "Do you guys see what happened in that like Falcons game?" And I'm like,
yeah, dude. No.
"No."
no, Steve, not.
It's,
I'm
oh,
friends.
or like he'll send the text and be like, "Oh, that looked bad," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Who's injured? Like,
Like, what are you watching? Or just
what
around
happened?"
like every
Yeah,
sport, every fucking sport. Steve, do you watch any? Here, answer this, Steve. Do you have any hobbies? Do you watch any other TV shows? Do you like to do anything besides like, you know?
he's a dad, man.
Yeah, so am I. I have fucking things I like to do, and I
Dude,
still
he's got a
don't.
lot of fucking time though. I will say that. Good for him though. I mean, he must be putting his kid to bed at like 6 p.m. and just sports from like 7 p.m. on. Like
Good
God
for
bless
you.
That's fucking lame. That's gay. I mean, come on, do
him.
something else, dude.
Well, hey,
Dude,
whatever
dude,
he's doing for football purposes, he's kicking our ass right now.
Aaron in the group chat, he said, "I like to point out I dropped Ertz with 4 minutes left, and he has four catches since and a touchdown, and now a two-pointer."
Is he tuning
I
in
gotta
live to
tell
this?
him that we literally
Oh,
touched
that's
on it
hilarious
on
though.
the
Someone should
pod.
fire that backside. That's hilarious. We've had some really good live content, I'll say, in the last couple of weeks with like waiver moves and just dude, how about fucking Arby's last week? I can't believe that move. And it paid off. He's got the number one Denver running back this week. Oh,
Crazy.
Arby's stepping in shit again.
Where the fuck is that sandwich? I had McDonald's and I drove right by fucking Arby's. That place is garbage. It is
Arby's
not
is a
good.
terrible
I don't
franchise.
think I've eaten at an Arby's since I was like 12.
Last time I did an Arby's, I think, was going to the Ohio Dave Matthews concert with you tonight when we came home and drove like
We ate
7
Arby's?
Yeah, we stopped at an Arby's
Oh
randomly,
my
like on our way
gosh.
home. That's
That's so
probably the
funny.
last time I had an Arby's.
Yeah, that's
I was
definitely the
gonna lie.
last time. I don't even
I'll seek it
remember
out.
that.
I'll
I
seek it
think
out.
I think Arby's has Arby's once every week. I actually think he does.
Hey, quality control. Got to
I
check
think he had. I'm gonna
That's
make a
real.
statement. I bet Arby's had it within the last 7 days.
it. I really hope that's actually true. That's hilarious if it is. Oh man, this is
We're
great.
gonna tell these league members that they have a lot of questions to answer, so they all need to tune in.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that everyone, if they can listen, it's hard because we do go for like an hour and a half. So like, I get it. If you could skip for
Longer.
like listen to your own matchups, but I mean, we love doing it, but it is for the league. I hope the league listens to it. And
Yeah.
spoiler
How,
alert,
how do we check? You know what we should do? You
I
need to
probably check
listen to the
the
other
views.
league podcast, and you get 3 strikes to miss. If you miss it 3 times, you're out of the fucking league.
Wow, look at that new
How about
rule.
that? You
That's
get
a
to
commitment.
comment. You gotta
I
comment.
kind of like that. You got to
Yeah.
comment. At least you got to comment.
You have to do it.
And
You
your
have to.
comment has to be relevant to that pod. Can't just be
Right.
generic shit. Love
Yeah,
that.
that's how we weed some of these fuckers
Promotion.
out.
We some of these fucking Logan's been waiting to kick out half the league for years.
I
I don't know
know.
if we're gonna replace any of these guys, but yeah, the league's
Yeah,
gonna be like 6 teams again, like when it was Lon and Friends.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
who
I
can we
said,
even
just
who can
watch
we even
out.
replace them with?
I
I don't
say
know.
that to Logan all the time. When he threatens to kick everyone out every draft, I'm like, look, who are we gonna place these guys? Like, it's a 12-man league and it's pretty competitive. Like, everyone's pretty into it. Like, I
Yeah,
feel.
everyone's in.
Nah,
I think we
everybody,
need to adjust
nobody's
some rules
safe.
though.
You know what? That kind of thinking is gonna get you on my list, Snyder, and you too.
We're the I would say we're the middle ground of the league. I don't want to kick everyone out, but I do think there's some guys that could put a little more effort in. I'll say that. I'll say that.
Definitely
Not
give a little bit
everybody.
more effort.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
everybody. What else? What else do we have? Next week we do have Rick. We'll bring the commish back because we need a little more
sure.
commish time. So we'll have maybe a little four-way next week. That's hot. Um,
It's
Sni
hot. It's
Sny, me, the commish, and Ship Blizzard, who could be on a huge run if he gets another win this week. We'll
Yeah.
put
You heard it here. I predict that shit is going to the playoffs.
I think so too. I think so
He's
too.
right there.
Yep. I would love to see Rick would one. I don't know what the league would do if Rick won
Oh
one.
my God.
Can you imagine, Sny, if
It would
Rick?
be pretty fitting for this year if he won.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Tiburon, hats off to Ryan. Dude, I hope he never wins one another for another 10 years, like he had for the last title. I don't know how long it was between titles for him, but God, it's painful listening to him brag about his team. It's
I think it
tough.
was close to like 10. It was like 9 years, I
Yeah, but I
think.
mean, hey, hats off, he's the champ. I mean, if I was the champ, I'd be shit talking left and right, but God, you got to reminded
He
of it
can
every
go
fucking
fuck
week.
himself.
All right, boys, I gotta sign.
Yep. Gonna hop
Commission,
off.
joining. We'll see you next week. Get some material. Get a little riled up. Maybe you beat me this week, and you're jacked up a little bit next week.
A little material. What do you want? What am I, your fucking sidekick?
What
My,
am I?
your act? I'm here to monitor.
What am I here to amuse
What?
you?
I'm gonna be in the background every time, and I'm never gonna say anything unless I want to.
Yeah, or I would have find a way to mute you every time then. So I'll monitor you from up here.
All right, that's enough.
Boys, have a good week. Big win for the
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, that is a big win for the Eagles. They're gonna take that division.
8-2.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah.
All right, boys. See
Word.
you next week.
All right, boys.
See
See
you,
you, bud.
fellas.